that time. Time for my weekly Big 12 rankings and matchup show, where I rank the Big 12 teams from 12 to 1 and also highlight the Big 12 matchups for the week of November 14th. Let's get the ranking started at number 12. This team deserves the automatic ranking of number 12, and it's not who you think. It's going to be Missouri at number 12 because they lost at home to Baylor. That's an automatic number 12 if you lose to Baylor. No excuses. At number 11, I'm going to bump Baylor up to number 11 for getting their first Big 12 win of the season. Baylor is still a bad team, but hey, they won on the road, much to my surprise. At number 10, Iowa State Cyclones. The Cyclones now have suffered back-to-back beatings. First, Texas A&M kills them, and now Oklahoma State beats them even worse. They lost 34-8. The game was over long before the fourth quarter even started. That's right, the Kansas Jayhawks, and with me is their head coach, Mark Mangino. And coach, 2 years ago, your team won a BCS game, the Orange Bowl, but right now your team's going backwards. In fact, 4 straight losses, including a loss to your interstate rivals, the Kansas State Wildcats. What's that all about?
You know what this is all about, don't you?
Actually, that's what I'm asking you, what it's all about. I mean, Kansas State, they really shut your offense down. Can you explain that?
BCS. That's what made a difference today in the game.
Are you saying that the BCS made the difference? I mean, Kansas State, come on, they're not even ranked in the BCS. They're not even in the top 25. I hate to say this, but are you suggesting that Kansas State somehow bribed the officials?
That's right. Dollar signs.
Whoa, no. No, we're not going to have any of that. Let's go to the final subject, and this is about how Kansas is perceived nationally. Look, we all know that it's a basketball school, okay? They win national championships in basketball. They get the Final Fours. The football team over a period of time has been far beneath that. Are you getting tired of your football team basically being called pushovers and not being compared to the powerhouses of the Big 12 like in Oklahoma or Texas?
I'm not going to be pushed around, or this university pushed around, because we're not the big spenders, we're not the big BCS team in the league.
All right, you heard it. You heard it from Coach Mangino. Thanks for joining us. And good news, though, for you, Coach. Thanksgiving's coming up in a couple of weeks. So I know you're definitely getting hungry for that.
That's right.
Now let's go to number 8, Texas A&M, a very heckle and jive team. 1 week they'll win at Texas Tech and shock us, and then they'll surprise us by losing at Low Lake, Colorado. Again, A&M's defense having some problems. They couldn't hold on in the end to win in Boulder. At number 7, Colorado. I'll give Colorado respect when they pull off big wins, and this was a big win for Dan Hawkins. I don't know if it's enough to save his job, but winning beats losing any day. Colorado, I thought, showed a lot of grit in that game. They were behind most of it, came back to win in the fourth quarter, so nice job by the Buffs. A lot of people are not going to like who I have ranked at number 6. Yeah, the Oklahoma Sooners, and when you only score 3 points on the road and you turn the ball over 5 times, and you've had the type of season Oklahoma's had, let's face it, they're 5-4. That doesn't deserve a high ranking at all. That's why I've got them ranked at number 6. Need to get the offense figured out. They're playing against A&M this week, so as long as Oklahoma can win games, they'll go back up in my Big 12 poll. But I have to call it like I see it, and right now I don't like what I'm seeing from the Sooners. At number 5, Kansas State. The Wildcats keep winning those pivotal games, including the win over Kansas. So Bill Snyder, could he get the Wildcats to the Big 12 North Championship? They can't overlook Missouri this week. If they can get that win, then the game at Nebraska a week from Saturday will decide the Big 12 North champion, and they'll decide who will play Texas in the Big 12 championship game. At number 4, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, whose offense I thought looked like junk, but the defense alone made up for it and then some. The big win against Oklahoma. And for Nebraska, they're thinking Big 12 North championship. They got to take care of the Kansas schools in Colorado, though, in order for that to happen. And then at number 3, Texas Tech, who did not play this past week. That means they have 2 weeks to get ready for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Oklahoma State checks in at number 2 in my poll. The Cowboys, very dominant in their game against Iowa State. And what's one of the biggest differences between Oklahoma State now and Oklahoma State a few years ago? The Oklahoma State team a few years ago would have lost road games or they would have had a dogfight in road games they should have won. That's not the case anymore. Mike Gundy has finally got Oklahoma State playing good football on the road. And keep in mind, they have not lost a road game yet this season. And number one, a team who has not lost for the entire season in general, that's the Texas Longhorns. Texas stepped out of conference this past week and put a beating on Central Florida. It was a struggle in the first quarter, but from quarters 2 through 4, Texas dominated both defensively and offensively. The only team that could stop Texas, in my opinion, from winning the Big 12 and going to the national championship game is Texas. They can only stop themselves. Speaking of Texas, that's where we'll begin our matchups, Texas at Baylor. And if you watch this game, and God love you if you do, because I'm probably not going to, check how many Texas fans are in the stands in Waco compared to the Baylor fans. It's not that far of a trip. Playing at Baylor can never really be considered a road game, especially if you're the Longhorns. I promise you Texas will have more orange in the stands than Baylor will have green. Texas will win big, and Texas, it will almost look like a home game for them. Looking at other games, Colorado is at Iowa State, and if you can watch this game all 3.5 hours and still stay awake, I should give you a reward of some type. This looks like a boring ball game. Iowa State will win because they need the victory to get to bowl eligibility. Colorado, they're almost done as far as any bowl hopes go. Nebraska at Kansas. Just like Kansas State, Nebraska has to guard against looking ahead to the showdown against K-State. They'll need to take care of business at Kansas. Nebraska hasn't had too many road games this year. Again, offensively, Nebraska has had their struggles, but the defense alone is playing well enough, and Kansas's offense is in a major funk, and you're trying to ask the Jayhawks to get out of their funk right now against a Nebraska defense that literally stopped Oklahoma. The game's in Lawrence, but I think Nebraska wins. I think they win comfortably. Missouri at Kansas State. Kansas State, again, has to guard against the letdown before their big matchup in Lincoln, Nebraska, a week from Saturday. Kansas State should win. I got Kansas State to win this game by 10 points over Missouri. And for Missouri, it's been a very disappointing year for the guys from Columbia. And we'll talk about Texas A&M and Oklahoma. To get my analysis and prediction of that game, check out the weekly matchup show, which is also on this page. Then finally, the Big 12 game of the week. It is Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. That's right, the Big 12 game of the week. It's Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. It seems like whoever the home team is in this game, chalk up a victory for them. The home team typically wins in this showdown. It was definitely the case last year on national television when Texas Tech absolutely stomped all over Oklahoma State. The Cowboys are out for revenge in this one. Texas Tech has failed to win in Stillwater each of their last 3 tries. One thing you can count on this game, it's going to be a lot of points. Very, very high scoring. I think in the end, though, Oklahoma State will win it. I think they're playing a little bit better ball right now, and the game is in Stillwater. Oklahoma State still has a shot at a 10-win season. Right now, they look destined to be in the Cotton Bowl or the Holiday Bowl at worst. I think they win the game over Texas Tech in what will be a high-scoring game, but that's nothing new between these two teams. So that will do it for my Big 12 weekly rankings and matchup show. We'll do it again, same bat time, same bat channel next week. So long.